name is Linda Battle. I grew up in North Carolina, the small town Sanford. My parents both were functioning alcoholics. And at 8 years old, they abandoned us. My mom was cheating across the street, my dad 2 blocks away. And, it affected me and my sister and my brother. We were left without furniture. They came and took the furniture, came and took everything out of the house. And eventually it was too much pressure on me because my sister and brother crying to me. They were more responded to me than were my parents, and it was too much pressure. And I secured them with a family member, and I ended up in the street 8.5, 9 years old. The worst thing that could have ever happened to me. I ended up drugs, prostitution, and picture that an 8, 9-year-old little girl. I was a little girl, and I met this soldier. It was disastrous. My life has been just disastrous, and I've been trying to get out of this cycle for a long time, and it seemed to repeat itself, but I just thank God that when I went to prison for 30 years, I had a murder charge, first-degree murder, and I went to prison, and I was crying out to God. I was like, God, very repentant of my behavior, my action, because I felt like I had to do what I would do. I had to do what I did because of my addiction. I went to cop drugs, and this drug dealer got nasty, and and I pushed back. And I ended up in prison for 30 years, and he ended up dead, and I was very remorseful about that because I have a son, and I thought about that, what would happen if somebody did that to my son. So I'm very remorseful about my actions. And when I got to the prison, I met the chaplain. I looked around, I seen her praying with different girls, and because I isolated myself. I didn't want to be bothered. I had just got 30 years in prison, and I didn't want to be bothered with nobody. I didn't want to talk to nobody. But I used to watch this lady, this chaplain, praying with different girls and talking to them, setting up dates for counseling. So one day she came by my gate. I said, could you put me on your list I need to talk to somebody? She did. And she came back and she counseled me a month later. And I began to open up, and I shared with her my crime. I was very open and honest with her. And she said, I would like to try and help with you and work with you, and she did. She came back, kept counseling me, invited me to Bible study, gave me a Bible. I attended Bible study, I attended the services, and eventually she ordained me a deaconess. I became a leader in the prison, and she asked me did I want to join the program, and I said yes, because I felt like I need a change. I've been doing the same old thing for years, getting the same results. The abandonment issue. In return, I abandoned my son because during my addiction, I was in this drug program, Renaissance House. A guy in the program came to me and said, Miss Battle, your son is out all time of night. Now, my sister was taking care of him. Okay, she was getting a check for him and everything, but she was messing with this drug dealer. And she was buying him drugs, getting him money. And the guy, we used to live right next door, he said, your son is in the streets all time of night. Your sister drunk, she's taking the check, giving to the drug dealer. So I went and got my son, okay, and brought him back to the program. I brought him back to the program. And I talked to my counselor. I explained to her why I left. But I told her that I couldn't stay. I just couldn't stay in the program. My addiction started kicking in after I left. I was only level 2, and I wasn't ready to go out. But I went out to get him. But in the midst of that, it started kicking in. So I couldn't get out with my son. So I secured him with the counselor. She took care of him. She raised him and everything.
So what happened when you left that program? Where did you go?
Back to the streets. That's where I always, everything I went through, like the abandonment issue, I always went back to the street. That's the familiar for me. That's all I know. So when I did those 30 years and came out of prison, I refused to go back to the street. Even though they're different Pennsylvania, different New Jersey, they rejected me because of my criminal record. They don't even know me. They don't know I changed, but I can understand why some people do that, because some people have some serious charges, and they didn't know me, so they felt a little threatened, a little intimidated behind my charge. But had they had got to talk to me and interview me, they would have saw that I'm not the same person.
So how did you end up at Isaiah House?
How did I end up at the Isaiah House? Because the housing authority and all these places rejected me for housing, and I was eligible. I called a pastor that I knew, Reverend Porter. Okay, used to come into the prison and counselors. He was in charge of HIV and different other groups that they ran in the prison, and he was spokesman. They come in and speak to the girls. So I had his number and I called him, and I got that through the chaplains.
So what has your experience been like since you've been in Isaiah House?
My experience in Isaiah House has been like I'm at home. I feel like I'm at home. I can do what I feel I want to do. Don't just positive. I don't get off in the negative. But I like to clean. I like to cook. I like to do these things. I learned these over the years. So that's something I practice because it keeps my mind. I crochet, I make blank, I do all things I learned, to keep me from thinking negative and acting off my emotions and feelings. I think the staff is great. I have actually established a relationship with the staff here because I can go out and share with them what I'm feeling, okay, or what I'm not feeling. And I can open up to them and I can talk to them. I feel freely. My life is an open book. I have nothing to hide. And when I was asked to do that video from the church, that's the best thing that happened because I said, God, I want to get back. There's people out there that's struggling just like I was, abandoned, drugs, being sexually abused. I done did it all. Acid, I done did it. There's no more for me to do. But if I choose to go back to that direction, I would die. So I live each day like it's my last day.
What goals have you set for yourself since you've been in Isaiah House, and have you accomplished?
Well, I wrote a book, and I'm waiting now to have it published. I'm taking it to a certain place. I don't want to kick my business out, but I'm taking it to some people that are willing to help me. They see that I'm trying, and they see that people are not giving me a chance. All my life, all I asked for was somebody give me a chance. Somebody give me a chance. So this church that I'm at now, Universal Church, Pastor James, Bishop Byra, all that church is giving me a chance. They allow me to be who I am, but in the process, working with me on my issues. And we all have issues.
What are some of your fondest memories and experiences of being here in Isaiah House?
Church. Y'all have volunteers to come in, like women ministries, and come in and talk to us and communicate with us. Also, like the staff. If nobody don't come in, I find communication because I'm a speaker. I love to speak. I love to talk. I love to share my experiences with people because we all have experiences. Now, what we do with our story is up to us. But I said, God, you know what? I got a story that can help people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking to get paid for that. I just want to give back. I just want to share my story and hope somebody will hear it and repent and change their ways.
What would you say you appreciate the most about Isaiah House?
What I appreciate the most, the unity here. The unity amongst the staff. You guys communicate with each other. Y'all have y'all meetings. And I'm very observant. I see things. I'm very observant. The way y'all communicate with each other, the way you communicate. And I wanted to mention also, too, about the donations here. It's women coming here with nothing. If women come here that don't have anything, they're not even trying to get in Isaiah House. All they want is some clothing. And I've seen Isaiah House fulfill that need. I've seen them fulfill it, and it made me feel so good to know that you don't have to live here to get help. That's very important. You guys, we couldn't make it without y'all. Y'all like our pillars here at Isaiah House. We couldn't make it without y'all. Some of the girls here, you know their situation. You know our situations. I never had a home. I never had a family. So,
if you could sum up Isaiah House in one word or one thought, what would the word or thought be?
If I could sum up Isaiah House, it would be a house of hope. Because since I've been here, I have more confidence in God first, and not in myself, but in other people, because our word means a lot to people. So when we give our word to people, it's like you're giving your life to them. So we have to learn to keep our word. So when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm not going to do it, I'm going to be honest with you and say I'm not going to do it. Isaiah House, if they say they're going to do something, they do it. They do it.
Where would you be if you were not here?
You know what? That's a good question. I wouldn't be in my addiction. I wouldn't be where I came from. I may be homeless. I think I'd have been homeless.
How long have you been at Isaiah House?
6 months. 6 good months.
And after your stay at Isaiah House, what's next for you?
What's next for me? My goal is to get my own place and get out on my own, because I always wanted to have my own place, and some things I missed as a kid. Just a simple thing like, your home and cleaning and cooking. And I did have my own place in Newark one time, but that was during my addiction. I ended up losing it, so I just want to be content, and enjoy the rest of my life. I'm 64 years old. But I wanted to start by giving back, because I don't know when God's gonna call us home. We never know. Tomorrow's not promised. So I want to live each day like it's my last day. I don't forget nothing. So I'm glad I got this interview in today. Yeah, I'm telling the truth. I tell the truth, shame the devil. I'll make the devil cry. This is my time to get even with you, devil.